Hello, my name is Eoin Stephens, and I'm one of the course designers and trainers on our practitioner certificate course that we've designed for any helping professionals who are working with or want to work with autistic adults. So for counselors and psychotherapists, psychologists, occupational therapists, psychiatrists, anyone else who feels they might benefit from this course. So I want to tell you a little bit about the course. And first of all, just tell you a bit about myself. I work currently as a counsellor and psychotherapist in private practice in Naas and Dublin. I have a background initially in working with adults with intellectual disabilities, then in addiction counselling and addiction treatment, in training and lecturing of counsellors and psychotherapists, and in various aspects of private practice. I've worked a lot with addictions, but I've worked a lot with anxiety problems, relationship problems, all sorts of other things. Nearly 10 years ago, I realized that I'm autistic myself, which was very helpful for me, something I'll talk about in other contexts, and no doubt we'll talk about on the course. I didn't immediately start to do lots of work with autistic clients, though I began to become more aware of the presence of autistic people, autistic adults. It's been the big raising in awareness for all of society, hopefully. On an upward curve, this realization that there are lots and lots of autistic adults, male and female, all over the world, including people we work with. So certainly over the last 3-4 years, I've gradually devoted more and more of my work to working with adults who may have known for a long time that they're autistic and are struggling with the same issues that everybody struggles with. In therapy, we don't work with to heal somebody's autism because that's a core part of who they are and something to be prized and celebrated and validated and strengthened. Explored, but we work with anxiety and depression and relationship issues and addiction, same we do with any other human being, any other client. But it's complex to be an autistic adult. It's complex whenever you discovered it. I mean, there are young autistic adults who got a diagnosis in childhood. Not really any much older autistic adults who got a diagnosis in childhood, not yet. I work with people who, have known for whatever 10 years that they're like myself, that they're autistic. I work with people who, just realized last year, possibly got a formal assessment diagnosis, possibly not, but for whom it's a much newer realization and awareness. And I work with adults of all ages. Autistic clients, and the bulk of my work now is with autistic adults, and I find it very interesting and rewarding work, and there's a huge need out there. So this is one of the things I just want to say a little bit about in this short video is just to say that we have designed and set up this course for, as I said, counselors and psychotherapists and other health professionals to try and equip people to work with autistic adults and to make the adjustments that need to be made, to have the sort of advanced knowledge. Every individual needs to be got to be known on their own terms, but advanced knowledge about general issues for what it's like to be an autistic person and have an autistic mind and autistic brain is extremely important and useful knowledge for helping professionals. So the work is out there. You will meet, as a helping profession, you will meet more and more clients who might be thinking are autistic, or who are thinking they might be autistic, or who are realizing that they're autistic or have realized that they're autistic, and that needs to be incorporated into the work. You may even choose to meet more of those clients, apart from the fact that some of them simply will come to your door. What I mean by that is there's work out there that needs to be done. So if you, like me, even decide that you have a passion for this work, well then there's plenty of work to be done. There's just a growing number of people who are becoming aware that this is relevant for them and they need informed help. I call my own practice Autism Informed Therapy Institute, because I think, yes, the therapy we do with an autistic person is therapy as we know it in many senses, but it needs to be autism informed and autism adjusted. We need to adjust to the neurodivergence that an autistic person has. So there's work to be done for many, many years to come, if not forever. And so we set up this course to try and provide a good grounding. I already run some short webinars specifically for therapists, and of course Evelyn runs many webinars for many groups, and we've done previous work together. But this is to provide a good solid grounding over a 10-day course running from October to March 2022 to 2023, to provide a good grounding in both what is autism. Our modern understanding of it, our current understanding of it, is very different from what it was 10 years ago. It's even different from what it was 5 years ago. It's very, very different from what it was 20 years ago, and extraordinarily difficult from what it was 40 years ago. And well, people need to catch up on that, and professionals in particular, helping professionals, need to catch up on the fact that there's a lot to be learned, and a lot of ongoing learning. We're still on a learning curve, and maybe always will be. So, the course provides a very good grounding in the whole framework of neurodiversity, the nature of being autistic and what that means at different ages and stages of life and in different kind of contexts, and plenty of examples. And we can talk about specific things like masking and meltdowns and stimming and things like that. We will also talk about, issues quite commonly connected to being autistic, other forms of neurodivergence, like, for instance, ADHD, issues around sexual diversity, gender diversity. We will talk then about particular mental health problems often associated with being autistic. Not that they have to be associated, but in practice they are. Unfortunately, things like social anxiety, generalized anxiety, depression, eating disorders, self-harm, things like that are unfortunately very strongly connected with the autistic experience, not because people are autistic, but because of the nature of the world that autistic people grow up in. And we will, as the course goes on, begin then to talk a lot about therapy, about the autistic client in the therapy room or treatment room, adjustments we may need to make or be open to making or discuss with the client, the way in which our learning, what we've learned as therapists, as clinicians, is applicable or not so applicable or maybe applicable to autistic people. We'll do some practice, some demos, and talk about practical issues for your practice and your professional setting. So, as I said, over the course of 10 days and over a number of months, we will, hope to provide you with a really good grounding to really embrace this client group in the work that you do. So, we're looking forward to it. So, hope to see you on our course in October.